guys and girls, Chokester here, bringing another episode of Direwolf20's pack. We are up to whopping 35, episode 35 already, and we're deep into deep resonance. No, deep draconic evolution. That's what we're doing today, and we have been. So let me explain what we want to work on today. So we have been making these end crystals, right? Crystals. These end crystals, and the recipe for them is they need nether stars, which we're doing good on. We can do that, and they need ghast tears. But let me just show you. So I've let this run for a few days. Now we have 2,200 skulls, and yeah, that's really cool. That's easy stuff. So we need ghast tears though. So let's do some things with ghast tears. I'd love to have a ghast in a soul vial, and we just so happen to grab one. But I think we're going to do things a little bit differently. So we have done a spawner downstairs, and we could do that. That's all easy. But let's take a look at, remember how we got some of these Resturbed mob spawners? Well, let's do something with those. Now, Resturbed mob spawners are pretty cool. I talked about them in a little bit in the past, but ultimately what they are is a vanilla mob spawner that still works without having to, it's not broken anymore, and we can put speed upgrades in them. That's really cool, but the only spawners we have, the only Resturbed mob spawners we have are the blaze, or the the gas, the blaze. That's what I'm looking for. So what we want to do is, if we would have a changer here, a spawner changer, then wouldn't that be cool if we could change it into something else? So we can't change it after the fact, but we can change it before the fact. So if we were to make one of these, now it takes this empowered diamantine crystal block. I've already made that, so we don't have to wait for that. Spawner shards we already have, and magma cream. So let's go ahead and make that. And so what this does is, whatever, if we look in the book, let's actually grab our book. Actually, here we go. Let's grab our book, and it talks about how, actually, you know what? I think I can just do a U. Yeah, right here. This will bring it up right away. So what it does is it talks about, it kills the mob by right-clicking with the by when you right-click on it with this changer, it kills the mob, right? Killing it in the process, and then I can right-click on a spawner. So what if we were to combine the two of a spawner and Resturbed with this spawner changer? Let's see if we could make a non-RF based ghast spawner. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a drop of evil, and we'll bring a couple just in case. And so yeah, let's leave them on our hotbar. So I'll meet you over in the nether, and we'll get a move on. Oh, I see him. Come on, Mr. Ghast. So what we have to do is we have to take this changer, and we have to right click on the ghast, all right, and that will then kill him and bind him to this changer. So let's do that. Or left click, no, right click. There we go. We got him. Okay, now we have in here. Let's get safely away from here, so we're not taking fire damage. We're not immune to fire yet. So placing a crafting grid to clear storage. Do not do that. We just worked hard, but you can see the entity is a ghast. Okay, so now what I have to do, let's get rid of that nether rack. Oh, whatever. We have to go find a spawner. Now we have already taken quite a few of the spawners, but I have done some hunting, and I found some spawners, and they're a ways away. So 1,100 or 1,000. So I'll bring you back. Okay, we are here. So the concept is that we want to change that spawner, that default spawner, from a blaze spawner into a ghast spawner. So yeah, let's go ahead and just do this right away. And there it is. There it is. Okay. Scared me there for a second. So here we go. Boom. There we have now just made a ghast spawner. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with the drop of evil, and that turns it into a Resturbed mob spawner. Now I have done some testing. I tried to create a room. The official spawning, I'm just kind of getting away from that area. The official spawning area is a 5 by 4 by 5. That's all it needs to spawn. But they say, you might want to allow for 5 by 5 by 5. So I built a outside 7 by 7 by 7, inside 5 by 5 by 5, and it didn't spawn. So then I bumped it up 2 more. I went 9 by 9 on the outside, 7 by 7 on the inside. Went all the way up to 13, 11 by 11 by 11 inside, and it never spawned. I have no idea. No idea why that was. As soon as I set it out in the open like this, now realize, let me show you the interface of this. So we can put speed upgrades, and I don't think I brought any with me. No, I did not. So you can put speed upgrades, which makes this a lot quicker, and you can also redstone control it, which is awesome. But obviously this is taking a while, and so we'll definitely want to leverage some speed upgrades. Now also, the speed upgrades, even with 20 of them in there, it's not like it's super fast. Not like the soul shards we saw in, FTB Unstable, or any of the other options that we have for spawners. But hey, it's free and it's not bad. So that's one of the things I wanted to do, was have an automatic killer, but it doesn't seem to do that, and it's also not seeming to spawn here very quickly. So let's take this back. Let's take this back and get some speed upgrades. So let me meet you in the overworld. All right, let's grab some speed upgrades in here, and we can only put 20 in there. So yeah, let's do 20. Perfect. So let's go outside here. I do not want this thing in my base, and I also don't want it anywhere near me because, remember, it's destructive. All of those fire charges, they blow stuff up. They blow stuff up. So let's go over here. This is a nice open area, and so we'll put that in there. We'll put that in here, and let's wait. There we go. See? So now this is a manual killing. So it would be really nice if I had an automated way. But like I said, once I put it inside of somewhere, it seemed to slow down drastically. Also notice that this isn't anything spectacular. It's not like super fast, but it's a fun foray. It's a fun foray into the spawning mechanics of Resturbed spawners. It's free. There's no RF required, and hey, it's not too bad. And you notice here that, don't even see where that one went, but you notice that we're on fire over here because of its fire charges. So you get a kind of a sense of how quickly they are spawning. It's nothing spectacular. So anyway, I've gotten 3 ghast tiers right there, and I can just sit here and farm all day long. And sometimes I'll get more. See, I just got 5. And so yeah, that's a Resturbed spawner. I promised I'd show it to you. You can do that with any mob and combine, well, I should say you can create a Resturbed mob spawner out of any spawner, and you can change it as long as you have actual additions in the pack with that spawner changer. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. And I don't know, so also notice we spawned this in the overworld, which was another big unknown. And I was surprised to see that it actually worked. So, all right, so let's take these out. Actually, I think they could come up. So that's not what we're going to do. We're probably going to use the ghast that we have, and we'll make a, actually, let's just do that. That's a lot quicker. So I keep forgetting I have that. So keep forgetting. For right now, the ghast tiers, I'm doing okay because of my testing, because of my just kind of farming these things for a while. I have 49 of them, so that's not horrible. It's roughly 2 per, or I'm sorry, it's 4. No, it's 1 per. That's right. So I can make 49 of the crystals, and then that means that I can do what is that, 4 per, so 12. So we could spawn 12 more dragons. So it's not horrible, it's not bad, not bad. We're gonna need a lot for that though. So we want to do some other things, but well, okay, so let's talk about what else we want to do. So it would be really nice to make a dragon dimension. Dragon dimension would be really awesome, except for you need a certain kind of dimlet, and that is a rarity 5 dimlet in order to create that. So we don't have that, so we're gonna need a lot of these dimlet parcels. Now we're gonna open these just in case. And let's just see. Did we get one? No, of course not, because they're pretty rare. They're rarity 5. So we're gonna need a lot of these dimlet parcels. Now I can go hunt, manually pick them all up, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do something in the end. So what I think I'm going to do is, or I should say, I want to automatically farm Enderman. So that means I'm going to do it in the end. And so I tell you what, let me gather up all this stuff. Instead of tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you. So let me gather up this stuff, and I'll meet you over there. All right, guys, we are down here. We're going to do something real quick. We are going to take this dislocator. This is a generic blank one I just made, and we're going to upgrade it to the advanced dislocator. And so we know how to do this, right? 4 draconium, 1 wyvern, and 3 ender pearls. So let us let's do that first. I got to spread these all out. Let's do the ender pearl first. Then we'll do these. Put this on here, 2, 3, and 4. And in here, we will put the dislocator, and we hit start, and it should be nice and quick. And we'll get our acceleration wand, because we know we can speed up the second half of that. Come on, baby. Out there. And we are ready to accelerate. And boom, we now have this guy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to bind this, so we can shift right click, and we're going to say we add new, and so this is going to be home. Just call it home and commit. So let's see, shift rotate. I see it only one place on the right. There we go. See it on the left hand side. All right, so we should be able to just right click this. Oh, I gotta fill it up. That's right, I gotta fill it up. Let's grab a bunch of these here, and let's see, I think we shift right click and say add fuel. Yeah, and then I can hold down shift and it adds a bunch at a time. Perfect. Okay, you ready? Right click, and we're back home. Awesome. Uses up one of the ender pearls. Okay, so we're going to want to do that. We're going to want to use this. Well, it's not that we have to use it. It's that we want to. Yeah, it's just the next level. So we'll put this guy away. That's an emergency. This is a double emergency. Yeah. All right. We have a whole bunch of other stuff. I'll meet you in the end. Okay, so we are over here in the end, and now I have a home, and I have just made a new one called Ender Dragon Platform, and so, or the End Dragon Platform. So let us head off. Let's see, there's the east, the far east, of all my exploring, looking for that comet, which I finally found over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch till the Endermen kind of disappear, till they despawn, and it looks like they're all despawned. So we'll go out just a little bit further for good time's sake. And that's pretty good about right here. So what I want to do is I want to build an Enderman spawner out here. And so I will do something, yeah, that's good enough. Let me make sure I have my magnet on. I do. I think, yeah, that is on, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then let me get rid of that guy. And where's my builder's wand? This one. I thought I had my other one. Man, where is that? That's silly stuff. Silly stuff. All right, builder's wand. So there's that guy, and I should be able to. So there's, right, that's 2. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and that's all I'm going to have. So that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I didn't need to measure it, but why not? Okay, so I want to go 2, 3. And there we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3 tall, right? And so we can now come over here, 1, 2, 3 tall. And so same thing here. I can do all the way to the end. And there we go. Same thing. Don't suffocate me in the wall. Go. So now we have a nice contained area. And oops, what am I doing? There we go. And 3. That one right there is fine, but I know it will OCD bother people, so I will definitely remove it. Okay, so we have the standard 8x8 platform. Well, now I also brought a whole bunch of vector plates. And so let's grab these vector plates. Okay, there we go. Just kind of threw these down. Doesn't really matter where. They all end up, where I throw it, it all ends up kind of over there. So we are going to now put the mob grinder in. Let's put the mob grinder in right here where they all come in. Remember, this flat is the safe side. That's the death side. Okay, and so of course we're going to need to power that. So we will put right on the back side, make sure it's set to out, make sure this has power. It sure does. And so then we're going to put a vacuum chest right in here. Right? We want to make sure we collect all the stuff. And then, let's do it on the other side. Yeah, let's do it over here. And, well, you know what? We'll do that like this. I've already activated this XP vacuum. And so then I'm going to put an experience obelisk right here on the back side. We're going to tell it to suck in from this side to pull. Okay? So it's going to pull that way. And so that should be good. And just so we can test it, we'll pull everything out into our inventory. All right, so that's going to grab stuff into the chest. Oh, I already have some stuff from out at the Nether farm. So, or the Nether Star farm. That's where I pulled that from. All right, so we're going to put the the ender chest, right? It's white, white, white. And then I'm going to need item conduits. I think I just need one or two. I've also made myself a framed drawer. So what I want to do is I want to come off of that into, let's get this out of the way here, out of the way. Let's do that, and then this. There we go. Okay, that's what I wanted. So now I'm going to come out of here and we will disable that. Okay, which it won't matter anyway. So then I'm going to put a chest. Let's do it over here. I think I want it to aesthetically look like this. I made itself a nice, pretty frame drawer, like we have kind of at back at the base. And then several things are going to go in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'll just like, pipe off of here. That should capture everything. So we're going to leave this off for right now, just to see what we capture. But this will be our first line, right? And then we'll see what we want in here. We can always lock it. I have my keys with me, right? And then, and so yeah, I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready to go. So let's see if we can get this to work. I'm going to take up one of these. All right, I'm going to drop a bevel this, and they're all going to then come in here. There we go. So let's go ahead and put this back. There we go. Okay, so let's see what it's capturing. Yes, we are getting dimlet parcels. That's what I was hoping for. And of course we get a few enderman heads and ender pearls, but this is what we really want. So we'll go ahead and take all three of these because we know we're going to get those. And I think that's about it. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. This pack doesn't have anything. I want that there. And well, let's put all of them in. And then parcels we'll put top left, front and center. Okay, so we should be good to allow the floodgates to come open. Good, and let's see if this is getting, yes, it's getting that. Excellent. And the last thing is we'll set this to insert. All right, so this will hold 8 stacks. And right now we have 2. 2 out of, two out of 1 stack. All right, so that's excellent, excellent. And of course I've got my this on here, this item dislocator. Okay, so there we go. There's our 4th thing. So that's excellent. I hadn't thought of that, so good thing. And it's not going to catch everything like this. I'm okay. I really, really don't care. This is one of those things to get me a lot of the dimlet parcels. I have 2 so far. So I'm not expecting this to happen like super fast. Okay. That one right there. Now, the only other thing is that, all right, so that's on insert, that's that. So what I can do is I can either suck all these out or just pull out the parcels. And that's something I haven't decided, right? I just used a bunch of the ender pearls, but you know what? I have a lot of them. And I have that farm out there I could fire back up if I really need to. So, yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good right now. So this will just run away. The only thing I don't have is a chunk loader. So for right now, I know that when we make a world download, we want to make sure we don't do this. So I'll have to get a chunk loader over here. But for right now, I'm going to just claim this and see if we get parcels. So yeah. All right, guys, we have, let us use our fancy dancy little thing. So what I can do is I can hold shift, right? And I can rotate. So end spawner, that would take me right here, right? Then I can hold shift and, yes. Okay, oh, there we go. And dragon platform, which will take me right there, which is pretty cool. And then I can go home. All right, I love my new toy. I love my new toy. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so now in theory, everything on that end island will despawn and only my spawner will be running. So, all right, guys, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, I know we didn't do any draconic. We did a little bit. We did a little bit. So we really won't call this a draconic evolution tutorial episode. But what we're doing is we need parcels to be able to continue on our draconic evolution. We need ghast tiers. So that's why we needed to do these things. This was a necessary episode. So sorry about that, guys. We'll come back next episode and we'll do more draconic evolution. So hope you understand, and I hope you enjoyed it, though. Hope you learned some cool new things, and catch you in the next episode. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, wait. Bye.